bit of breaking news right now. The city and county of Honolulu has activated its emergency operations center that is up and running. Of course, they're going to do that in advance of the storm. They've been preparing. We've talked to the Department of Emergency Management. We're going to speak with them a little bit later about some of the preparations they've been doing throughout the week, of course, knowing that this had the potential, Lala, to turn into a tropical cyclone. But Justin, I do want to ask you, this is a very rare event, having a potential direct hurricane strike on our island, something that we haven't seen since 1992. Again, this is forecast to be a possibility, hasn't happened yet, but since Hurricane Iniki hit Hawaii, correct?
That's right. 1992 was the last hurricane that made landfall in the state of Hawaii. We've had close calls, okay? We've had near misses. We've had, Hurricane Lane was a Cat 5, and that was a near miss.
That was 2018.
2018. But as far as a hurricane, not a tropical storm, a hurricane, that hasn't happened since Iniki, and then, of course, Dot, and then Eva before that. If, for some reason, any portion of Lala as a hurricane goes, the eye, goes overland, that would be historic. Because there has been newspaper articles in the past, but they weren't really clear about wind speeds. Most likely the Big Island has been hit by hurricanes, but it's so far back, it's not fully documented. I would say in the modern satellite era and since statehood, this would be the first hurricane, if it hits, to hit the Big Island. We had Olivia barrel through as a tropical storm through Maui and Lanai. That was a 2-hit.
Also 2018.
Yeah. And then we had that close call from Lane, but again, you are right. When it comes to the technical specifics of making landfall in Hawaii as a hurricane, it has not happened since 1992. This could be a near miss too. You know what I mean? Just as much as it could be a direct hit.
So then what is the one thing you want every viewer to understand about Lala right now?
Okay. My biggest concern, tracking these things, for 2 decades now, growing up, in the West Pacific on Guam and experiencing this firsthand, is that just judging from history and those smaller storms and the damage that they've done, we're at next level potential for catastrophic damage, especially for that entire South Point, Windward Ka'u, all the way, the entire Big Island pretty much. I mean, to be honest, the storm is bigger than the Big Island, and the Big Island is a big island, as you know. East Maui, also a little bit concerned about that, and mainly because residents in East Maui can get cut off very easily, very easily. Rainstorms cause, mudslides and basically block Hana Highway, and then even south through Kaupo. So very concerned about them and thinking about them. It's safe to assume there will be some block roadways, even, on portions of the Big Island. It's going to be hard to, number one, access those areas should the trees fall, albizia trees. And number two, if power lines go down, it could be, potentially miles and miles and miles of downed power poles. That's the worst case situation. But you have to assume with these wind speeds as high as they are, projected to be as high as they are, it's going to be a rough weekend.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of wind action with those Kona low storms, right? We got some wind gusts, even on Oahu up to 40 miles an hour. It was strong. There was a trampoline that blew across the street into my son's elementary school.
Wow.
I mean, even with those amount of winds. So you imagine what hurricane force winds can do. So yeah,
double that.
Yeah, I have family in Naʻalehu, so thinking about them right now, like you said, it's easy to get country roads, right? Easy for them to get cut off. So that's why it's so important to prepare, right? Even 2 weeks of supplies.
Even, the rain that we're going to see up to 25 inches max, that can also take out a road because, it's hitting the slopes of Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea, and those mountains are extracting that rain. And they're very good at doing that. That's why Hawaii is so beautiful and green. But on the flip side, that water has to go somewhere. And it initially, the ground can soak it up, that always helps. But then there comes to a point where the ground can't take it anymore and it becomes saturated, overly saturated. And at that point, it just becomes runoff. and there's enough rain to produce significant runoff.
Want to ask you a little bit about something we don't deal with very often that we do see on the continent, especially in Florida, it's storm surge, right? When you get into Louisiana, Florida, very low-lying areas, storm surge can be very deadly. You said potential 1 to 3 feet on the Big Island, could be 1 to 2 on neighbor islands.
Yep.
How concerned are you with storm surge with this storm?
Not as concerned as the winds and the rain. The storm surge, the east side surf for the Hilo side and the Puna district is expected to get up to about 20 feet, and that's pretty huge. It is a concern. That's the trifecta of hurricanes, right? Strong winds, heavy rain, and storm surge. And storm surge actually is the #1 impactful, thing about hurricanes.
It's usually the deadliest part.
Yes, it is the deadliest. Historically, it's the deadliest. Fortunately, though, again, we do have mountain elevations. So as long as, I think we can handle 1 to 3 feet, but on top of an east shore swell, the wind swell, 20 feet is expect bayfront to flood for sure. From the storm surge and bayfront in Hilo, very prone to flooding, by the way. That's why it's a park. Expect water coming in from offshore and water coming down the mountains. That combination is going to be tough.
So Lala could bring us heavy rain, flash flooding. You mentioned mudslides, dangerous surf.
Yes.
And I know that we have crews on the Big Island, we have crews on Maui. What about Oahu and Kauai? Are they going to see any type of impacts?
Well, it really depends on what we've been tracking, which is the motion of the storm, how close it moves to Kauai and Oahu. Right now, it's, if it passes with this track, we'll see tropical storm force winds, wind gusts to 60 miles per hour. We're still going to get a lot of rain, by the way. Rain forecast max totals for Kauai and Oahu, about 8 inches, which is fairly significant. So that number is not as big as Maui County and the Big Island, which is 12 to 25 inches respectively. It's still a lot of water, but if you take each one of the islands, the western half has a lower threat due to the fact that it will be farther away. But if the track shifts north, then we got to redo the numbers. You know what I mean? More rain, stronger winds. If the track shifts south, then of course lighter winds, but still very, very powerful. And another thing to think about is that it's not done strengthening. The National Hurricane Center says,
it's going to get stronger.
Yeah, it's going to get stronger. It's going to be, have winds around the center at 75 miles per hour into Category 1. So not only, is it strengthening and it's going to, essentially peak right before it nears the Big Island South Point, but there might be track fluctuations, and they usually are. Things like this, they spin, so they have a tendency to wobble. It's not a straight line. It's not even a nice curved line sometimes. They'll wobble to the north and wobble to the south, and those are all factors that have to be considered with Lala. We have an update, by the way, coming up at 11 o'clock. So the major updates are at 11 and 5, and then 11 a.m., 11 p.m., 5 p.m., 5 a.m. Then there are position updates at 2 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 a.m., 8 a.m. As well. So those are usually position updates unless something significant changes. So in about a half an hour, we'll have new numbers. Will it get upgraded to a hurricane, or will that be with the 5 o'clock update or the 11 o'clock tonight update? It's going to happen potentially within the next 12 hours.
Yeah, you said half an hour. It's 10:29 right now, so we're on track for that. Well, actually, you talked about potential track moving to the north. Now, that is not forecast to happen. Forecasting has gotten a lot better since we were talking about 1992.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible advances in technology.
Satellite computing,
yes,
sensors, radar.
It is still forecasting, right? So it's an educated guess, if you will. As far as a complete northerly turn, that is a very small chance of something like that happening.
So you never say never, right? And Iniki, remember, Iniki, we didn't have the technology that we do now. I look at 50 plus 60 scenarios, okay? Not a single one of them has a turn to the north. Could it happen? It's weather. Anything can happen, but it's highly, highly unlikely. There's another factor, too, which I believe makes it highly unlikely is that our trade winds are strong. And thanks to the trade winds and thanks to high pressure, that has a tendency to suppress storms and keep them to the south. The reason why we had a curve to the north for Iniki back in 1992 was because the trade winds broke down. High pressure weakened, therefore it led to the breakdown of trade winds because there was a weak storm system near Hawaiʻi that essentially broke down the trade winds and sucked Iniki right into Kauai with 140 plus mile per hour winds. You're looking at video right here from Iniki, September 11th, 1992.
Still so dramatic to see that.
It's a double whammy for us in Hawaii because, you know, we also have September 11th, right? The September 11th attacks. But we also have the worst natural disaster in modern day history with Iniki. Now, since then, we've had the Maui fires as well, a different type of natural disaster. But if you think about the Maui fires, that was in part due to a very powerful hurricane passing south, drawing all that moisture around it, taking it away from, drying out the islands basically, and then the winds picked up. And that combination caused the Maui wildfires. But yeah, you know, looking at stuff like this, back in 1992, when Iniki got hit, communications were cut off completely. We didn't know that telephone lines are down. We didn't know really what the extent of the damage was until, you know, KHON gave some tapes to the National Guard and said, get this to the TV station. And then everyone, you know, I was a freshman in college during this time. And I remember hearing about it, but people that worked at KHON at the time, they didn't know what was going on until National Guard gave them the tape from a photographer, from one of our KHON photographers, and their mouths just dropped at, you know, seeing how bad it was, you know, and it's still fresh in the minds of Kauaians, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I think those images are a stark reminder that the time is now to secure your property, gather the supplies while the weather conditions are still calm right now. And I think it's safe to say that the storm's exact track may change, right? But the preparation message does not.
No.
Please take this seriously. Hopefully nothing terrible happens, but we are keeping the watch on this, the latest track.
If you have to make preparations, do it now. In fact, do it right now, because by the afternoon, we've got the potential now for a lot of traffic on the roads. Friday afternoon traffic, prep traffic.
Different kind of Pohana traffic for today, huh?
So, I mean, and that even applies to the Big Island, which is no stranger to traffic itself, you know. Going in and out from Puna and Hilo. And then some of the roads are only 2-lane highways, so if there's any kind of obstruction, that just adds to it. But the winds shouldn't be a factor until overnight tonight in through Saturday for the Big Island. But yeah, if you can get anything that you can get it done now. The freeways are wide open right now. And you know,
I don't know what Costco is looking like.
I was gonna say Costco gas, Iwilei, Kahului, Kailua Kona, gonna be a little busy. Gonna be a little busy today.
Wish we had a camera over there to see the madness.